The Ajuran Sultanate. The Ajuran Sultanate was a powerful Somali Muslim kingdom that flourished in the Horn of Africa during the Middle Ages, particularly between the 13th and 17th centuries. It was founded by the Ajuran clan, part of the Hawiye lineage, and rose to prominence in what is today southern Somalia, with strongholds around the Shabelle and Juba river valleys. The Sultanate established a highly centralized administration with a sophisticated system of taxation and irrigation, enabling it to maintain control over trade routes, agriculture, and military affairs across a vast territory. Its capital is believed to have been near Kalafo and Afgoe, but it also dominated coastal cities such as Mogadishu, Barawa, and Marka, which became thriving centers of trade, culture, and Islamic scholarship. The Ajuran were notable for their strong embrace of Islam, which they spread throughout the region, building mosques and advancing Quranic education. Their architecture, including fortresses, wells, and roads, still forms part of Somali cultural heritage today. Origin and religion: the Ajuran people. Origin of the Ajuran clan. The Ajuran people trace their lineage to the Hawiye clan family, a prominent Somali ethnic group. They emerged as influential rulers in southern Somalia, particularly in the fertile inter-riverine regions around the Shabelle and Juba rivers. The Ajuran Sultanate was built on a deeply rooted clan network that combined political authority with religious leadership, providing it with lasting legitimacy. Connection to Islam. The Ajuran rulers embraced Islam early on and were among the key Islamic dynasties in the Horn of Africa. The Sultanate followed Sunni Islam, adhering to the Shafi'i school of jurisprudence, and positioned itself as a protector and promoter of the faith. The leadership not only governed according to Islamic principles, but also commissioned the construction of mosques, Quranic schools, and centers of Islamic learning across their domain. Role in spreading Islam. The Sultanate played a significant role in the Islamization of southern Somalia. Through trade with Muslim merchants from the Arabian Peninsula and the wider Indian Ocean world, they reinforced Islamic cultural and religious norms. The Ajuran dynasty supported scholars, financed dawah, religious outreach, and encouraged the conversion of surrounding communities. Their influence extended to coastal cities, such as Mogadishu, Barawa, and Marka, which became thriving centers of trade, culture, and Islamic scholarship. Their legacy lives on in the architectural remains of mosques, enduring local traditions, and the continued Islamic identity of the regions they once ruled. System of governance, administration, and authority in the Ajuran Sultanate. Centralized authority. The Ajuran Sultanate operated under a highly centralized monarchical system, with the Sultan at the apex of power. The rulers exercised full control over political, military, and judicial matters, maintaining authority through tribal alliances, Islamic legitimacy, and a strict hierarchical structure. Legal framework and judicial system. The Sultanate's legal system was grounded in Sharia law, particularly the Shafi'i school, and was complemented by Somali customary law, Shi'r. The Sultan appointed qadis, Islamic judges, to preside over civil, criminal, and religious matters, ensuring justice throughout towns and rural areas. Taxation system. The Sultanate implemented an advanced system of taxation and tribute collection, especially in agriculturally rich regions. Taxes were levied on farmers utilizing irrigation systems along the Shabelle and Juba rivers, on merchants operating in port cities like Barawa and Mogadishu, and on pastoralists who paid livestock-based levies. These revenues sustained the government bureaucracy, funded the military, and supported religious institutions and public works, including wells and fortresses. Bureaucracy and local governance. While the Sultan held supreme authority, regional governors and tribal chiefs oversaw sub-regions. These officials were responsible for collecting taxes, enforcing laws, and resolving conflicts. The Ajuran bureaucracy was notable for its literacy in Islamic scholarship, which enabled efficient record-keeping and correspondence with other Islamic states. Military command. A well-organized military maintained internal stability and protected trade routes. The Ajuran constructed fortifications, trained cavalry and infantry, and deployed naval vessels to patrol the coast and resist foreign incursions, particularly from the Portuguese during their expansion into the Indian Ocean. The Ajuran system of governance was a sophisticated blend of Islamic statecraft, clan-based authority, and strategic geography, forming a resilient political model that influenced Somali governance for centuries. Economy and trade, commerce and connectivity of the Ajuran Sultanate. Agricultural production. The Ajuran leveraged the fertile lands of the Shabelle and Juba river valleys, pioneering irrigation systems like qanats, underground channels. These innovations enabled year-round agriculture, producing grains such as sorghum and millet, fruits and vegetables suited to tropical climates. Livestock rearing and agricultural economy. Livestock rearing, including camels, cattle, and goats, was a vital part of the Ajuran economy. This agricultural abundance not only sustained the population, but also supported taxation and formed the backbone of inland trade. Inland trade networks. Caravan routes connected Ajuran interior regions with urban markets and coastal ports. Goods moved through villages and trade hubs such as Afgoe, Baido, and towns along the river. Pastoralist zones where animal products, textiles, and crafts were exchanged. These networks also facilitated the transmission of Islamic scholarship and cultural norms between communities. Maritime trade and port cities. Strategically located along the Indian Ocean, Ajuran port cities like Mogadishu, Barawa, and Marca thrived as commercial centers. These ports welcomed merchant vessels from Arabia, Persia, India, and Southeast Asia, exporting ivory, incense, animal hides, gold, and aromatic woods. The Ajuran control of maritime trade routes allowed them to successfully repel Portuguese attempts to dominate the Indian Ocean in the 16th century. Relations with the Arabs and Asia. The Ajuran Sultanate cultivated both diplomatic and commercial ties with Arab traders, especially from Yemen and Oman, strengthening cultural and religious bonds, with Indian merchants who traded spices and textiles in exchange for Somali exports, and with Persian and Malay sailors who established seasonal trade through monsoon navigation. These interactions placed the Ajuran Sultanate within the broader Islamic trading world, promoting economic growth and the spread of Islamic identity across East Africa. Military and defense. Strength, strategy, and sovereignty. Military equipment. The Ajuran military employed a mix of traditional Somali weaponry and imported tools acquired through trade. Their arsenal included spears, swords, and shields made locally from iron and hide, bows and arrows, effective for ambushes and ranged combat, mounted cavalry, offering speed and tactical flexibility, naval vessels such as dhows and dugout canoes used for coastal defense and troop transport. They also fortified strategic locations with stone fortresses and defensive walls, many of which remain visible in southern Somalia today. Warfare strategies. The Ajuran employed multi-layered military tactics, including guerrilla warfare and ambushes, especially in forested or riverine terrain. Fortified city defenses, allowing resistance against long sieges. Strategic tribal alliances, forming a regional network of loyal fighters. Use of geography, with rivers and coastlines serving as natural defenses. Military commanders coordinated both land-based infantry and naval units, ensuring unified defense strategies. Defense of the Somali coast. The Sultanate played a crucial role in defending Somali's coastline, particularly during the Portuguese expansion of the 16th century. They repelled several naval attacks by European forces, secured key ports like Barawa, Marca, and Mogadishu, preserving Islamic scholarship and trade. They allied with other Islamic states to maintain sovereignty over Indian Ocean commerce. Their vigilance ensured that Somali ports remained independent Islamic centers of culture, commerce, and faith. Cultural and social influence. Traditions. Inherited practices passed down through generations, often tied to rituals and celebrations. Examples: marriage ceremonies, harvest festivals, Ramadan observances. Culture. The collective expression of a community's language, arts, values, and lifestyle. Examples: storytelling, traditional clothing, cuisine, and religious beliefs. Education. The transmission of knowledge, skills, and moral values between generations. Examples: formal schooling, religious instruction, community mentorship. Customs. Daily habits